So all we have to say is, Jesus, how do I join the purposes of your heart in this generation? Because those purposes have been going on long before we existed. They're going to go on forever and ever. We just get a turn, you know? We just get to say yes for a while. And so that takes all the pressure off, because it's not even ultimately about us. It's about the one who is pursuing the purposes of his heart through every generation.
Welcome to More Than Small Talk. We're Susie Eller,
Jennifer Watson,
and Holly Girth, writers and real life friends. We're inviting you to go deeper, become freer, and feel more connected.
So imagine you have a cup of coffee, a mug of tea, or a green smoothie in your hand,
and we're all hanging out in your favorite place together.
Hey, More Than Small Talk friends. This week we are talking about purpose, specifically finding your purpose in the season of your life. So as a bit of a backstory, I think we believe 3 myths about our purpose. One is that our purpose is out there somewhere and we have to go find it. The second one is we only have one purpose in our lifetime, and I believe we have many. And the third is that our purpose is permanent and can't change. And I think as we change and grow, so does our purpose. So Ecclesiastes says, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. So I think if we can let go of those myths and explore and say, what is my purpose or purposes in this season of my life, then it can free us up from a lot of pressure and expectations. And then real quick, I also think there are 2 kinds of purposes. Your forever purpose is to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. That's what Jesus said matters most. And then your for this season purpose is the assignment he has for you right now. So as context, that's what we're going to be diving into.
Yeah, I have been looking forward to this conversation all week. And I want to just throw out a question that we can go deeper, a confession question. What is one of your purposes in this season?
This is such a good one. But I was thinking about this on my way here, and I really feel like my purpose is to be fully present with the people that I love when they're right in front of me. It's really easy for me to get in my head. And especially when I was in a season of crisis and now coming out of that, I just feel like being fully present because kind of checked out to survive. And so now it's just been a gift to just love the people well in front of me and just be there for them.
Yeah. I'm in transition right now. I have been used to traveling and speaking and doing things in ministry. And while I still love those things, I really feel like my boots need to be on the ground where I'm at. And so I'm saying no to a lot of things that I've said yes to in the past. But what I'm finding is that God is opening an entirely new door, which is kind of cool. And it's actually a behind the scenes door. He's bringing people into my path that are friends, becoming friends. And we're going deep about Jesus. Even as I was driving here today, I was Voxering, which is an app that you can use, kind of like the old time walkie-talkie, where you can talk. And I am talking with a new friend every day. And she's sharing her heart. I'm praying with her and sharing my heart. And I'm seeing Jesus work, and it's like, okay. This is unseen behind the scenes. There's no microphone involved. There's no travel involved. But my goodness, watching God work is just lighting me up.
Yeah. And I love that we're talking about how our purposes are connected to people.
Yeah.
Because so often in our world, I think we think of purpose as connected to like a project or a goal, like
what
something.
We do.
Individual. But I love that y'all are talking about your purpose being connected to people. And I feel that way too. I feel like one of my purposes right now is to help people embrace their belovedness and love Jesus in return.
I love that so much.
And that's, a beautiful thing and feels a little new. Like it feels different than I actually wrote out on my whiteboard yesterday, like this statement of, I partner with Jesus to help people embrace their belovedness, love him in return, and live in shalom. And I thought, this is really different than what I would have written even a year ago.
Yeah.
And what I would have written a year ago was right for that season.
Right.
So I love that. Like, I often feel like we're called deeper and deeper into a similar purpose as we grow in intimacy with Jesus and ourselves and others.
Yeah.
But I love that we have the freedom to say, this looks different right now because I'm different.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that kind of like your soulmate, where people say there's only one person that you can love in the whole world for your whole life. I think that they put that same theory on purpose. There's one purpose out there, and somehow you might miss it, like you might go your whole life and miss your purpose, but you're saying the complete opposite of that. Right?
Yes. And I'm also saying, because I said there's two kinds of purpose, our forever purpose. If you don't know your for the season purpose, just get up and say, God, how can I love you, others, and myself today?
Yeah.
And if you do anything within that circle, then you are fulfilling your biggest forever purpose. Yeah. So there may be seasons when we know really specifically, I'm called to this job or this relationship or this goal or this person. But there may be seasons where we don't have specifics, and that is okay. That doesn't mean we're wandering or we're lost or we're out of alignment with Jesus. It just means we can ask him every day, how do I love well? And that's living in our purpose too.
I love that.
I was just thinking as I'm listening to each of you talk that our purpose is like, it's not about the spotlight at all. And I think that that's why it's so sweet and tender to know that our purpose isn't showy. It's just obedience, right? It's just loving people well who are in front of us. But so many times, especially as a writer or doing things, we kind of feel this pressure to have our numbers up, all of these things, get a bunch of sales. And that doesn't fit me at all.
Yeah.
And so I think that I'm finally in a place where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just send this out there and let God use it, period.
And that transitions into every other. Our marriage is supposed to look a certain way.
Yes.
How we show up at church is supposed to look a certain way. All of these, there's a lot of pressure when it comes to this, Holly.
A lot of expectations.
Yes.
I think we can look to our purpose for our worth and identity. And that is never what it's meant to be, because ultimately it's not even our purposes. Like in Psalms, it says the purposes of his heart stand firm for all generations. So we don't have to stand on a platform.
Yeah.
Jesus is standing firm in his purposes. So all we have to say is, Jesus, how do I join the purposes of your heart in this generation? Because those purposes have been going on long before we existed. They're going to go on forever and ever. We just get a turn. We just get to say yes for a while. And so that takes all the pressure off, because it's not even ultimately about us. It's about the one who is pursuing the purposes of his heart through every generation.
Yeah. Well, so what is one surprising thing that you have discovered? Because this is something you're studying. It's something that you've created a beautiful course around as well. So what is one surprising thing that you have found about purpose? Yes,
I created a course called Find Your Purpose in This Season. So you can look for that on my site. But I think what I shared, and then also that we need to understand who we're created to be in order to understand our purpose. Otherwise, we will end up pursuing the purposes that everyone else tells us to. Like, go on Instagram and you'll have 10 experts within your first scroll saying, this needs to be your purpose. This needs to be your purpose in your family, in your exercise, in your work, in your home, in your laundry room. Like,
yes,
I know the plans I have for you, declares Instagram, And so I think the antidote to that is to say, God, who did you create me to be? Because if you think, he's described as a potter. So if a potter creates a bowl and a potter creates a pitcher, he has a purpose in mind for each of those, and they are divinely designed to fulfill it. And so if the bowl's like, I got to be the pitcher, that's going to be a little awkward sometimes. Right. There's going to be some spilling going on. Or the pitcher is like, I can't pour out. I have to hold everything in. Then there's going to be a sense of I'm out of alignment. And so in my course, I walk people through what are your strengths? What are your skills? Who are you called to serve? Because I think self-awareness to be like, oh, this is how I'm shaped. This is what I'm made for.
Yeah.
Can really free us from those expectations. Because then we can say that is an amazing purpose for that person on Instagram. Like they are wired to do 500 squats a day.
That's not me.
I'm not. So I can let that go and let them enjoy that. And, I can eat my snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. When I think about my purpose right now, and I want to talk to the woman who's maybe in an older season, because I am, and I don't feel it, but chronologically I am. And so I think we think at some point that our purpose can go away because of different things. Maybe it's a season, maybe it's because I'm going through a crisis, like Jennifer, you said that you've been in, or maybe it's because of an age. And I would like to believe, and I'm going to get teary, I don't even know why. I would like to believe that my purpose is just as vibrant and fulfilling today as it was 40 years ago. And honestly, that I'm never going to live a life without purpose. And I do believe that. But I have to tell you, I hear this over and over again. I'm on Threads. I would love for you to come join me on Threads, Suzanne Eller. But I hear women who are at a certain age and over saying, I am now invisible. And I want to push back against that so hard and say, not only are you not invisible, but there are people looking to you for the very reason that you say you feel invisible. You've got years under your belt. You have experience. You have things to offer. So what would you say?
I would say I hate that lie because I think it's from the enemy.
It is a lie.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in a circle of women, probably we were early 30s, and we all ask each other, do you have a mentor? And none of us did. Yeah. And we all said, where are the older women? Where are
right
they?
here.
I know. But if we believed, you do that beautifully, Suze, but if we believe the lie of the enemy that we're invisible, then we don't maybe put ourselves out there as much as we might, because I think as women, we can measure our purpose on how much we think people need us.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we feel like people no longer need us, then we can withdraw, which then makes us feel invisible. So I think instead saying people are looking for what I have to offer in this season of my life, desperately. We are where are these women? We want to find them. We want to see them. We want to connect with them. And we said, well, what would we want? What does mentorship even look like? And we all said, we just want someone to show up and be present with us.
Yes.
And so I think maybe especially the enemy tells women in that season that specific lie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it is a season when women in that place are called to show up in new ways for those coming after.
Yes.
So of course he's going to be you're invisible.
Absolutely.
When the voice of God is saying, it is your turn to show up in ways that the women coming along behind you need more than ever before.
Yeah.
And so, I love reframing that it's not.
And I would flip that to even say that, goodness gracious, yes, I hope I bring something to you. You bring so much to me. You bring so much, as I shared, there's a young woman and I who were talking every day by Voxer, and she lights me up. I love watching her unpack, sort through, figure out things. And I'm just sitting there thinking, oh, I just know God is dancing right now because of what she just said and what she just discovered. And it lights me up.
Yeah.
She's bringing so much to me.
And I'm just thinking about the woman who feels like that they don't even deserve God's purpose for their life. You cannot mess this up. God can use you right in your mess, right in your crisis. Doesn't matter what you're going through. Your purpose lives on and it's powerful. So don't ever think that you've messed up or that you are undeserving to live in that peaceful purpose in your life. God's going to use you and it's going to be powerful.
I think about you, Jennifer. You have been in a crisis. For 3 or 4 years. Long time.
And I'm coming out, man.
But not only are you coming out, you wrote a book for other women during this crisis,
Yes.
while you were in the trenches, while you were in the
Yes.
fire.
Yes.
And you describe it as being in a burning car.
Yeah.
While you're in this
Yes.
burning car, you're like, okay, I'm going to show people how to hang on to God in a burning car.
Yeah.
And not only how to hang on, but how to climb out.
Yeah.
And so look at that. I mean, so that can come out of.
And like, I didn't want to write that. I didn't want to be in that place and in that burning car. But like, I was literally like, I wasn't just stepping out. I was crawling out of that car, trying to find safety. And I honestly, there were moments in that crisis that I thought, I am not going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
Like it hurt to just breathe. I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to survive this. But I kept standing, but I crawled more than I stood. And now to just be standing up and kind of getting my balance and regaining that strength, I know that God wanted me to write that from such a broken place. And there was no way I couldn't write it from a happy place or from a bubbly place. That was gone. I had nothing to pull from. And so it's like, I didn't want to write that. I didn't want to be in that crisis. I didn't want to go through all of that. But it was my most honest work, and God met me in the trenches. And man, y'all, it's going to be so honest, and it's probably going to make some people mad. But I
think it's going to make some people free.
That's what it is. I think that people are going to be like, he's not done with me, and this might hurt really a lot, and I wish that it would go away, but like, God's not done. So like, tell me what you want me to do with this pain, God. How can I help others? And I mean,
purpose and pain.
Is it available for pre-order yet?
It is.
Okay.
It's on Amazon.
Well, tell us about that.
It's called What If You're Doing Better Than You Think? Finding Courage and Confidence When Life is Messy. And my publisher and I were throwing around the messy part, and I was like, it said like your messy life. And I was like, no, we are messy, but like, it's when our season is messy, and there's nothing we can do about it, that we can still find courage and confidence. And for that season, just getting out of bed and putting my hands on the keyboard was courageous.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think about this. If I am in a hard place and somebody comes to me and they have not walked through it and they have platitudes or pithy statements, it is not helpful.
Mm-mm.
But I remember going through cancer the first time as a 31-year-old mom, and this lady named Diane kneeling in front of me as a nurse, putting both hands on my knees and saying, I am a 30-plus year cancer survivor. I was stage 3 like you are. Mm-hmm. And I just want you to know that I'm going to pray for you. And seeing her face, seeing that she was okay, mm-hmm. like her purpose was being unfolded in that moment over my life. Yeah. In such a powerful way. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like that your book, I feel like, Holly, that this resource that you've created to help women be able to sort through what purpose is and what it's not, these are things that help us find that purpose right where we're at, right?
Yeah. Pain can lead to your purpose. Yes. Perfection is not required for your purpose.
Thank you.
And we can all just take the next step today. I think I was picturing, how often so many of us, when we think, I'm going to live my purpose, it's almost like we're a hiker going on a big trek, We're like, I got to get the right backpack, the right snacks. I've got to get the water bottle. I have, and before we know it, we're like, it's heavier and heavier and heavier. Yeah. And there's always one more thing, like one more thing we should know, one more thing we should heal from, one more thing that, then we'll do it. And I think the invitation of Jesus is set down the backpack because I will give you what you need as you go.
Yes.
So if you're thinking, I don't know that I'm ready to step into my purpose, you are. Because all you're doing is taking a step toward Jesus.
Yeah.
And if you do that every day, he will lead you into your purpose and he will give you what you need every single day to live it. Because ultimately our purpose is an intimate adventure with him. You know, I said loving him like 1,000,000 years from now, we're still going to be living our purpose.
Yeah.
Like, because our purpose is loving him and letting him show us what that looks like every day.
All right. So just once again, we've mentioned a couple of resources. So Jennifer, your book, say one more time.
What if you're doing better than you think? Finding courage and confidence when life is messy.
Okay, that's on Amazon.com. That's on BarnesandNoble.com. Pre-orders make such a big difference. So please, please, please go in and do that. And then we can find your course, Holly, if you'll say the title again and where to find it.
It's Find Your Purpose in the Season, and you can find it at hollygirth.com/purpose.
Okay, listen, we all have a purpose, and that purpose is right in front of you. And how cool is that? And that's it for today's episode. Thanks for going deeper, becoming freer, and connecting with us. More Than Small Talk is a part of the KLRC Podcast Network and is produced by Kara Culver. Show notes and resources are available on the More Than Small Talk page on klrc.com. You can also join us in our Facebook group. Subscribe to More Than Small Talk on your favorite app so you won't ever miss an episode.